Nigeria has formally launched a bid to host a Formula One Grand Prix in Abuja, a move that could mark the sport's return to the African continent for the first time since 1993. Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Olamide Dikko, announced that the proposal has been submitted to the Federation International, the Automobile and Formula One Management through Opus Racing Promotion, and there is official representation in the negotiation. The Abuja Grand Prix will be to enjoy the support of top government officials and private sector's partnership. Invitations have reportedly been extended to Formula One Chief Executive Officer Stefano Domenicali, racing legend Lewis Hamilton, and Telk engineer and architect, a global design firm behind most modern Formula One circuits, to visit Abuja for the site inspection and stakeholders meeting. The bid comes on the back of Nigeria's successful hosting of the inaugural E1 Lagos Grand Prix in March, which marks the first time an African will host such an E1 competition. Kingsley, yesterday we talked about the bid for Nigeria to host the Formula One here in Abuja, but then let's take a look at it from different angles this morning. Over the years, we've been hearing the Japanese Grand Prix, the Bahrain Grand Prix, the Madrid Grand Prix, name it. My worry here is, can Nigeria be able to sustain it? Not just trying to make a mark by hosting it after 1993. Can we be able to sustain it, just like we have been hearing consistently, the Japanese Grand Prix, Bahrain Grand Prix, and the rest?
You know, we should even talk about the fact that if we'll be given the nod or the go-ahead, to host this particular one, then, taking a look at the sustainability, and we understand, yes, we're bidding for it. Are we going to get that opportunity of hosting? If the opportunity will be given to Nigeria first, to host the competition, and then we'll see what comes in at this point in time, and then we'll take a look at sustainability. Can it be sustained at the end of the day? One thing, of course, we've lacked in this part of the world is a maintenance culture. We've not been able, of course, to see how we can maintain what we have in a very, very high level at this point in time. This is the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, of course. We never can tell what will happen, of course, after 2027, who will be there. Is he going to still be the president of the country? Because from what we've seen, over the years, from what we've seen now is that once a particular government are on seats, they do so many things. But once their tenure is over and they leave office, the next person or the next administration that is coming in want to do a different thing entirely. So that has also affected so many things, of course, in the country. We do not have that high level of sustainability of anything, down here in the country. So for me, I will just look forward to see how it goes. First of all, will Nigeria be given the go-ahead to host this one? Then, if we're given, then we'll now know if, of course, it will be sustainable at the end of the day. Mike, for all of this, saying Nigeria hosting the championship, now we're looking forward to see how it goes a Formula One event. I think all of this is just to bring, personal glory at this point in time to the current government. Yes, I will be very frank at this point in time. I don't think they're doing it for the world. Yes, it's for the world to see us as a country that can, of course, be viable in terms of sport. But what's the essence? How does it benefit, the common man, in Nigeria? That's the thing. How does it benefit us? So I think all of this at this point in time, we should try and most kind to see how we can channel all these things, to benefit the country. Not just seeing this happening in the air. People just see it or hear it happening in the country. Oh, Nigeria hosted E1 championship. Oh, Nigeria is about hosting a Formula One event. I tell you, a lot of money will go in hosting this particular one, and there's so many things happening in the country. The economy is not stable. People are not really happy with the way things are, price of goods, and all of that. So I think at this point in time, whatever the government are trying to embark on should be what will benefit, of course, the common man. We understand maybe hosting a Formula One events, people might likely get jobs, and all of that. But, at this point in time, we should look at what, of course, will really, really benefit the economy, at the end of the day. Talking about sustainability, Mike, I can't really tell at this point in time if, of course, we're going to be, if this one will be sustained, eventually Nigeria gets the go-ahead to host the championship.
All right, sustainability is a big challenge, and there is a worry because many times we discover that government officials are one set of government leaves office, some support up to the proper templates that was laid down before the previous government leaves office in that very one. Away from that, we are going to talk tennis on the show this morning because a lot of things is also happening in the world of tennis. But beyond that, Kingsley, Nigeria is also bidding to host the Commonwealth Game. I talked about this yesterday. Well then, Mr. President seems to be in tune with the plans of the National Sport Commission, also backing them to host the Commonwealth Game. Now the Abuja Grand Prix and the rest of it all. I mean, you talked about the economy not being viable, people not really, getting benefits of being a citizen because they find it very difficult to access the common things which are basic amenities. But whole lot of money is being pumped into areas of sports just for we to make a mark by hosting Commonwealth Game, then a Formula One Grand Prix. Do you think that with all of this, you think that Mr. President is just trying to, leave a legacy before leaving office, so that when he leaves, they will say, oh, during the tenure of so, this is what he achieved in the area of sports?
That's what, of course, we've been talking about over the years, Mike. I've been talking about, not really emphasizing much or paying much interest, in sport promotion because all what they are doing, Mike, I tell you, is sports promotion. All right, it's really, really sport promotion. We're not looking about, we're not taking a look at, sports development, at the end of the day. Now, let me just take us back a bit. We're talking about hosting Formula One events. Are we going to see a Nigerian driver, in the championship? That's the thing. Will Nigeria have the chance to also participate? That we don't even have a driver when it has to do to say, okay, this driver is competing in Formula One. Let him come back home and let's see what, of course, at least he will feel at home, at the end of the day. That is what we're saying. So at the end of the day, we host the Formula One events, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, all of them will come here and race and go back, just like that.
Now
so,
money is gone.
So what do we stand to gain? That's the thing. What do we really stand to gain? I don't really know how the National Sport Commission wants to go about this. That's the thing. Now we're talking about Commonwealth Games, which of course other top European countries are even running away from due to the, due to how expensive it is in hosting the competition. Nigeria wants to embrace it in a country where people are really talking about the fact that they can't even afford 3 square meal or let's say 2 square meal in a day. So for me, I think this is not the right direction at this point in time. We should look at what will really benefit the economy, what will bring money to the economy, what will really boost the economy. One will say, hosting the Commonwealth Games will, of course, take Nigeria to a limelight, and all of that. People will have to come into the country, do this and do that for how long? How many months will the championship last? How will it benefit? For how long will it benefit Nigerians? So at this point in time, for me, Mike, I think for me, what we're just seeing at this point is sport promotion. We're not really looking at sport development in the country, because if we're looking at the area of sport development, it will be what, of course, will last for a very long time, and Nigerians will benefit from this particular one for a very long time. Not just hosting all of this championship, and at the end of the day, it is done. Nigeria will go back, to where they were, keep on struggling and doing, and so many persons murmuring. So for me, I think if we're trying to make sports a viable venture, a money spinning venture, just like the president has mentioned, of course, in the past, then we should look out for means where we can possibly, of course, make this, make our athletes, of course, involved, make Nigerians also to be involved in at this point in time. Take a look at countries like Morocco. Of course, they've done a lot in terms of sport development. They have about almost over 10 stadiums, at this point in time. Even South Africa, as it stands. Take a look at South Africa today. The likes of Lesotho, I think Zimbabwe, so they are paying to use the stadiums down there in South Africa. All those things, of course, are means of making money, at the end of the day, or the country making money. At the end of the day, how many standard stadiums do we have in the country? Just 2. And what are the state of the sporting facilities, in the country? We can't really tell at this point in time. So for me, I think we should not look at all of these, aspects. For me, it won't really yield more fruits, to the country. Rather, we should look out for means where we can stabilize, our sporting system. Make sure that, all of the sporting federation in the country are doing well. Maybe not all, but at least 5, 6 to 10. At least whenever we go out there to compete at the Olympics, we come back with something very, very tangible. That, of course, will give us hope. And then, talking about Nigeria being the hub of sports in Africa, then we can start looking, in that direction, and not just for legacy's sake or probably promoting sports and not sports development in the country.
All right, I hope that Mr. President and the National Sport Commission, they will take a deep thought and reflect on the gains that we stand to achieve from hosting the Commonwealth Game and the Formula One Championship. How will this affect the life of the average Nigerian in the street? This is a big question. Commonwealth Game, another big money, spinning venture where most countries are running away because of the cost-effective. Nigeria, we are embracing it. Before you could say Jack, we are moving on to, of course, host the Formula One. We are not saying it's a bad one, but then do the basic things first. Put proper infrastructures in place. Let out of the over 30,000, over 30 sport ministries that we have, how many of them are really, functioning properly? Away from football, basketball, maybe athletics. How many other sport out of the over 30 sporting ministry that we have can we really say that it has the required or requisite standards, going by the rules of the sport? So the earlier the better we start thinking outside the box on how to improve other areas of sport before we try to, host a major competition such as the Commonwealth Game and the Formula One. The better for us all.